Steve Angel here with Simply Traditional. We've talked a lot the last couple of videos about sharpening broadheads, and as the stropping blocks are kind of picking up and folks are buying those, I've had several different questions, mostly pertaining to sharpening knives, hunting knives, pocket knives. And it's a pretty straightforward process, but some folks have never actually heard of using stropping block or stropping leather to polish their blades. So I felt it was a good idea to put together a fairly quick video. This one's not going to be nearly as long, I hope. I'm going to demonstrate the sharpening today using my favorite knife. This particular knife was made for me by Swafford at Swafford Knives, and I'll put a link up on the video. But this is the Autumn Hunter model. It's just the perfect size for skinning and caping animals. Great utility knife. I mean, you can use this thing for anything. And this one is Bolivian rosewood scales. It's got the mosaic pins. It's got all the extras on the knife. And I've had this knife actually for I guess this is my second full season with the knife, and I've used it quite a bit. And I think I've sharpened this knife 3 times. So it'll hold an edge a really long time. It came very sharp, but through normal use, anything's going to get dull. And it's still fairly sharp, but it's not as sharp as I like it. One way that you can test the sharpness of a knife is take just regular newspaper. I prefer newspaper because it's very limber, and it will tear a lot quicker than it'll cut a lot of times. And you can see here that I'm tearing rather than cutting. Again, the knife is sharp. If I lay it down here and put it against a surface, it's still going to cut, but the test is in being able to do any kind of freehand cutting, which, as you can see, it bites into the paper a little bit and tears. We're going to try to fix that here. One quick point on sharpening: everybody's a little bit different. The best thing I can tell you about sharpening by hand is practice, practice, practice. It's just something that you have to work at to get real competent in. It's not something that comes easy. I typically like to use about a 30-degree angle on most of my knives. That is, if you're looking at a flat surface like a sharpening stone, picture the stone being in the 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock position on a clock. So flat, straight across. And sharpening at a 30-degree angle, what you're going to want is you're going to want the back of that knife to be pointing what would be something like 2 o'clock. That's going to give you the best point of reference I know to give you, and it'll get you the right angle. The angle is important because not only is it going to allow you to sharpen your blade, it'll allow the blade to stay sharp through normal use and be much quicker to sharpen on subsequent sharpenings. As I've mentioned before on the videos, I like these diamond stones. I have some Arkansas stones. I do use them occasionally, but I just feel like for general purpose, the diamond stones are better. This is a Smith's. Stay tuned. I'm actually working on something right now for Simply Traditional that will have us carrying a diamond stone under the Simply Traditional brand, and that'll probably be a month to 3 months out right now. But anyway, sharpening stones doesn't matter. As long as you use them correctly, all of them are going to give you good results. The diamond stones I can just use over and over and over again, and I don't have to oil them. I don't have to do anything but brush them off and maybe wash them a couple times a year. Sometimes these don't show up too good on video, so I'm doing the best I can to get the video close enough so that you can see everything and understand what's going on. But basically what I'm going to do to start out with a knife that's been dulled, I'm going to take my 30-degree angle and I'm going to draw that knife across it to me, and I'm going to do that about 10 times on each side. And that's 10. Now on a blade like this that's got a little bit of a curve, as you bring that knife across the stone, you're going to have to change the angle just a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to keep it as close to that 30-degree angle all the way across the blade. Now we're going to go over and do the other side. Again, the 30-degree angle, and we're going to go, now we'll be pushing away from us. But it's basically, also think of pretending that you're trying to cut a small sliver of this stone off with your knife. hope that was 10. I was talking and not paying too much attention. We're getting there. So now that I've done 10, I'm going to reduce that now to 5. I'm going to do 5 passes on each side, and I'm going to lighten the weight just a little bit. But again, maintain that 30-degree angle. I'm going to do the other side. Now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to do 3, and again I'm going to lighten the pressure just a little bit. I hope that you're going to be able to see this on the video. It's kind of hard to do the video sometimes and keep focus on what you want people to see without your hands being in the way. Now I'm going to just do a series of 1 passes, flipping the blade each time. Again, trying to maintain that 30, roughly 30 degree. Anywhere from 25 to 35 will give you good results as long as you're pretty consistent. Now as I get close to the end here, I'm putting very little pressure, almost just the weight of the knife back and forth on each side, and always make sure that you finish on the opposite side that you started. Now at this point, I'm hoping, and it does feel like it, that this blade is getting pretty sharpened. I'm hoping that I can get this in the frame and let you see it here, but it is very sharp, and just, I mean, I'm barely putting any weight, and it's just popping hairs off my arm. So again, we're sharp now. Now where the stropping block comes in, whether it's for knives, broadheads, it doesn't matter, is it takes any microscopic burrs that are still on this blade and it just polishes them down. Now that's going to make the blade sharper. It's going to make it stay sharp longer. Like I said, we carry stropping blocks. This is my own personal one. There's nothing pretty about it. This is red oak. My personal stone, stropping block, I didn't even put a sealant on it. It's just a piece of red oak board. The ones we sell on the site, there's a basic model, which is this red oak. It is sealed. It's got a no-slip surface, so it doesn't move. 10 to 12 ounce vegetable tan leather. This will last a long time. I've heard, or actually I've seen, some other companies that make these are making them out of different bases, plastic, aluminum, lucite, and they're saying, well, you know, these products won't warp. Well, first of all, a sealed piece of wood, unless you allow it to get really wet and stay wet, is not going to warp. And even if it does warp slightly, for this purpose, it just doesn't matter. It's not like you're on a sharpening stone where it has to be perfectly flat. In fact, the old barbers used to use stropping belts for their straight razors, and they would hold the belt with one end and the other end was attached to the chair, and as they were stropping across it, the belt's just sagging. It's height. It doesn't mean anything. This is one of the deluxe stropping blocks that I haven't quite finished up. I haven't put the no skid surface on it, but this is black walnut. It's got a hand rubbed tongue oil finish. It gives a very nice polish. I think there's four to five coats, and after each coat it gets buffed down by hand, so it ends up with a great looking finish. From a usability perspective, they both work the same. This one sells for $25 plus shipping, and these are $35 plus shipping, but they are a lot prettier to look at. But both of them will give you the same amount of service. This one here I've been using for probably 6 months now. Now, as you use it over time, the top will start looking a little rough, but that's normal, and actually as this starts to get a little rougher, it's going to do a better job. So anyway, enough about that. When you're ready to strop, you're going to do just the opposite. You still want to maintain the same approximate angle, 25 to 35 degrees, but instead of pushing the knife across, you're going to pull it. So you're not, if you try to push, you're going to gouge into your leather and you're going to ruin your strop. But you just want to apply firm pressure and draw this across the strop to you. And we're going to do this 10 times, same way on each side. And I hope that was 10. We're going to flip it over, we're going to do the other side. Now as you're using your stropping block, you want to constantly flip it. That's going to keep the leather worn evenly, and it'll give you a fresh surface each time. So now we're going to do 5, and we're going to lighten the pressure. 1, 4, 5. I'm going to do 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we'll do 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And you can probably hear this a little bit, but you can definitely feel it. You can feel that there's just some very mild abrasiveness to this leather, and that's what actually does your polishing. I'm going to be real quiet here and see if you can hear this. And we're just going to do a series of 1 passes here. Again, very light pressure. We're not putting much pressure on this at all. You want to stay even numbers with this, just like with sharpening, but it's not as important. This is removing such small amounts, it's not going to make a lot of difference. And now we should be at a point where we can take, and we'll use the same piece of paper, how about that? So now we should be at the point that instead of gouging, we're just cutting pieces of paper off. Big difference as far as the sharpness. You can play with this a little bit more and get it even sharper. As far as being sharp enough to shave hair, I mean, the weight of the blade itself will take hair off my arm. I don't even have to put any weight, and it will. I mean, it's just like a razor blade. Stropping it's been around a long time. It's kind of gone away in the last few years. So much commercialism with different products on the market. But leather is just a phenomenal product for sharpening blades of any kind. Ours are not any better or any worse than any others. I make mine by hand personally, and they do a really good job. I use the same ones, the same product that I sell myself, and it works great for knives. It works great for broadheads. You can use it for scissors. It doesn't matter. Any sharpening instrument, the Strop Block works wonders. That's pretty much it for today. I hope this was informative to everyone. Again, Swafford Knives, check them out. They're a great knife, great product. I actually hope to buy another one day. They are competitively priced for a custom knife of this quality. Like I said, this is a knife that'll last you a lifetime. The leather sheath, Sean has several different sheaths. I chose one that has the snap on the inside of the sheath here. The snap is actually protected by another piece of leather, so it will not damage the finish on your knife. And I've worn this pretty much daily for the last 2 years, and still looks new. I guess that's it, folks. If you have any questions, feel free to let us know. You can contact us on the website by email. There's also a contact form or various social media. If you have any questions, let us know. Thanks so much. Have a great day.